In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the dark side of land investing, the dark side of achieving your dreams, and what it really means to feel the success that you currently yearn for today. What's up, guys? If you're new here, my name is Sumner Healey. I run a company called landinvestor.co. We help people start, grow, and scale land investing businesses. And today I'm going to talk from the heart, honestly. I'm going to talk to you guys about something that is really relevant to where I'm at in life currently, and I think it's really relevant for the folks that are watching this channel. And if you're inside our Leah group coaching program or just a Leah course, this is relevant for you too. We've got nearly 100 folks that are actively working to achieve the dreams that they have set forth for the land business, right? We have folks that are at multi-six figures trying to get to seven figures. We have folks that are just getting started trying to get to six figures. We've got really people that are all in between. And what I've seen is they're all shooting for something. They're all yearning, they're all stretching. And I've been in this place my whole life where it was always about growth. It was always about pushing the needle and moving the kind of the boulder up the hill every single day. And a lot of it comes down to be quite honest, a deep self-worth issue, childhood trauma, all that stuff that you don't really want to hear about. But I have a word to the wise, a word of caution for all the folks that are actively out there chasing their dream. And I think at a fundamental level, the people that decide to become alchemists and change their world, change their environment, and change their life, there's an underlying level of dissatisfaction. There's an underlying level of knowing that things could be better and wanting better. And there's real beauty in that. And I think that's one of the coolest things about being a human is we're quite literally alchemists. I mean, we could, through our words and through our actions, change everything about ourselves and the world that we live in and how we see the world. And that's incredible. And some of that's on a deeper level of just living in a Western culture, living in America, and the boundless opportunities that we have in front of us, right? Like I grew up dirt poor, single mom, food stamps, like not an affluent upbringing by any means. And that's the classic American story of kind of pulling myself up by my bootstraps and making something of my life. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be or where I know I'll end up, but I've come a long way since those days. But what I've learned on this journey that I think is relevant to anyone watching this video who's walking a similar path is that it's very, very easy to lose sight of what's truly important. You know, I think a lot of people make business what's most important, and they look at their friends, their family, the connections, the relationships as just a side piece. It's just a game. It's just kind of whatever. And really it needs to flip-flop, right? Business is just a game. This is a giant game that at the end of the day has very little input on our true happiness, our self-worth, who we are as a person. And I think that the real way to look at this is business is a game, and our friendships, the love in our life, the family, the connections, that's the stuff that's actually paramount. That stuff is not a game. That stuff is, at the end of the day, all that matters. And there's far too many folks, and this has been recorded with studies with folks that are kind of in end-of-life situations, that a common regret for people that are on their deathbed is they worked too much, right? And we live in this culture where you can change everything about yourself, and that's amazing. I mean, you can go from broke to potentially billionaire or multimillionaire, and there's something really cool about that. This is a time that is unseen in any other point of history where there's so much upward mobility. Now, I know some people are saying like the world's falling, the sky is falling, everything's bad. Nowadays, it's like, you know, rigged against you and you can't change your life. I'm a living proof of that. There's many people that are living proof of that. And I've been very fortunate in a lot of ways in my life. And I understand that I'm just speaking from my experience, but we do live in a point in time where information is abundantly available and there is upward mobility like I don't think we've seen in any other point of time. And there's real beauty in that, but at the same time, it's incredibly easy to throw out the baby with the bathwater and make that our God, make that our religion. And I've lived in a place for really my entire adult life where growth was my religion, growth was my everything. That was the shrine that I prayed to. And quite honestly, the reason that I started landinvestor.co and started the Leah program. If you're a land investor who's looking to start, grow, and scale a land investing business, I want to talk to you. At the link down below, you can click to book a call with my team and I. We're going to go through a strategy roadmap with you to build out your land investing business. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game and you're looking to get to the next level, come and talk to us. I want to speak with you. I'll see you on the call. 2 years ago, I hit a point in my life where I had no fulfillment. I had achieved on the outside the stuff that I had set out to achieve, hit seven figures in my land business. Like that was such a big milestone. had the amount of money that I wanted in my bank account, like all those things that I've been working towards, but I was soulless, I was hollow. I didn't feel like I was providing anything to the world, and I didn't feel like if I died tomorrow, I was going to leave any impact. And I know that sounds cheesy, but like that is why I'm here. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I've created this community, is because I just said, well, I'm good at land investing, and I need something that fulfills me. I need an outlet where I am giving something to someone else and positively impacting them. And yeah, you could say, well, you're giving good deals on land, or your deal funding partners were making money, and like you're doing good that way. And some of my friends try to rationalize it to me like that, but this is not the same, right? And I started going and delivering meals on wheels, delivering meals to elderly folks, and that definitely helped. But like I wanted to find this cool intersection of what I'm good at and helping people. Like that is one of the most beautiful things that you can come across in this human experience, is combining what you are innately good at and having other people say, holy crap, you are good at that and it's beneficial to me. And I was not getting that in the land business. And I'm super fortunate for how everything shook out and how it brought me to this point in time. But the thing about the land business, just on an underlying level, is it's ultimately meaningless, right? It is a direct response business where we're trying to buy an asset at a discount, flip it for a profit. We're using some internet marketing tricks to get eyeballs on it. And we're not really adding anything of real value to the world. Yes, we're leveling the playing field, and we're kind of being like a market maker for the land space. And sure, that's helpful for the buyers, and maybe that's helpful for the sellers because we're adding liquidity to them. But ultimately, if you walk this path, you are most likely going to get the outcome that you want. You will most likely go and check those boxes, make the money you want, have the time freedom you want. You will get there. I tell people, if you stay in this game long enough and you actually like the game, you will make it. Don't worry, like the blueprint is there. Follow a blueprint, stay in the game long enough, extend your time horizon, and you will make money. It's almost a sure thing. It's as close to a sure thing as I've ever seen. But you are going to naturally reach a point where you've checked those boxes and there's nothing else, right? And if you did like I did, where you sacrifice every other core tenet, relationships, service to other people, religion, like whatever it might have been that's important to you, I sacrificed those things, and I got to a point where I checked those boxes and there was nothing else there. And so a word to the wise should be sufficient, but maybe you have to learn on your own that if you're walking this path, keep a close grip, keep a close eye on the stuff that really matters. And remember, this is ultimately a game. And remember that you will get to the outcome that you want to get to. There's no need to rush through it. There's no need to make gargantuan sacrifices. So many people nowadays beat this drum of hustle culture and like grow hard and grind, and nothing else is as important as your growth or the income or the scale of your business. And that's malarkey. That's nonsense. You will hollow yourself out, and you will end up in a fork in the road where you may not be able to continue down this path. Look at the one of the most important things that I've seen for entrepreneurship is longevity. And so if you can keep yourself fulfilled by keeping a deep understanding of what's really important and keeping an understanding that this is simply just a game, you'll be able to stay in the game longer and ultimately glean better results than the folks that are a flash in the pan and reach the point that I reach where they're just burnt out and they don't know what to do with their life. And I'm so incredibly grateful that the story has unfolded in the way that it has. The Leah community and the program and the coaching, like that's my heart and soul. It's my life. It's my creation. It's the intersection of what I feel like I'm good at and what people actually want. And now not everyone is going to have that same story unfold. Not to say that the outcome for all of you watching this is to go create a coaching program or whatever it may be, but I think it's important to keep a close eye on the fact that this business is most likely not going to fulfill you. It will pay you, but it will not fulfill you. And there's a really interesting kind of analogy. I think it's a true story of a college professor who has his students in a classroom, and he's got a jar, and he fills up the jar with golf balls. And he says, is the jar full? And the students say, yes, it's full. And he goes and grabs some pebbles, and he throws the pebbles on top of the jar. He says, is the jar full? And the students say, yes. And then he goes and grabs a bunch of sand, and he pours it into the jar. He says, is the jar full? And the students say, yeah, it's almost overflowing. He says, this is your life. If you put the core rocks, the core tenets, the stuff that matters first in your life, you will be able to fit in everything else. And everything else, the pebbles and the sand, that is your work. That is your business. That is the growth that you aspire to have. That stuff is not as important as the core tenets, how you treat yourself, the health of your body, the relationships with people in your life. That's the stuff that really matters at the end of the day. And so it's paramount that while you're building this land business, that stuff always comes first. Because if you reverse that analogy and you put sand in, then pebbles, and then golf balls on top, you're not going to be able to fit all of it in. It will overflow out, because what happens is the golf balls go in, the pebbles go in, and the sand seeps in between the cracks and fills up the blank spaces. That is how I believe we need to think about our work, right? The core tenets always get laid first, and work and the other stuff gets added on last. It is not the most important thing. And so the folks that are walking this journey, look, at you will get to the outcome that you want to get to if you stay in this game long enough. But what I don't want to see is you're a flash in the pan and you burn out and you start questioning what you're even doing on this earth, or what your purpose is. I think ultimately, if we can keep our core tenets in check and really put the stuff that matters on the pedestal and allow this to come second, you will live a much happier life, you will find fulfillment, and you will still achieve the goals that you have set forth in your land business. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Please listen to this with an open mind, because if you're starting at point A, you're probably like, Sumner, you're coming from a totally different place than I'm at. I need money, I need food, I need whatever it is, and there might be a sense of scarcity or urgency, but this applies no matter where you're at. So if you guys like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. I hope it was meaningful. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.